Self-awareness is the key to consciousness and transformation, and we've reached a point on the planet where everything is changing and hardly anything feels like it's the same as it used to be. And while this can be really frightening, it can also be a wonderful time. How you can make this period easier for yourself is to really turn your attention inward. This may seem like a radical concept, and I know I struggled to accept it when I first heard it, but we are actually projecting our thoughts and our energy outward, and whatever we're putting out there is coming back in here the way of situations and circumstances and things that eventuate into our lives. And I can really appreciate that this is difficult to receive if you're really struggling right now. And I used to be someone who struggled pretty much from the moment I got up until I went into bed at night, and then all through the night was just plagued by horrible dreams and anxiety. And that's part of why I'm sharing this with you, because this isn't just a concept. This is a very real way, your ticket out of the feelings that might be really challenging for you, and to help you to realize how much control you have, even though it may seem like you don't. So what I mean by this, and what I'm referring to, is your own self-awareness. If you're constantly triggered, if you're continuously upset or afraid, it would be really helpful for you to just go inward and try to keep track of the habitual thoughts and feelings that you have, because these are a clue as to what's going on in your subconscious or unconscious. And the unconscious part of it, which is our conditioned programming that arises through our family, our friends, schools, relationships, religion, and so forth. These are the beliefs and expectations that we were given when we were children. And when you're a child, you have no discernment, so you're not able to go, oh, well, this doesn't resonate with me, so I'm not going to take that up. Your unconscious or subconscious mind works like a sponge. It just soaks everything in. And this is why the period from not, including in utero, to about 7-8 years old is so vital and is so telling as to why so many people have trauma from their past, in particular from our families of origin, because that not to 7 or 8 is when we're really having our unconscious mind programmed like this big receiver. And then as we get older, we learn discernment, but by that point, we're already operating 95 to 98% of our lives by this unconscious programming. So you can see how as you get older, you might be wondering why is that? Why is this happening to me? Or why do I keep having these patterns in relationships? Why do I keep feeling certain ways? Why do I have this underlying anxiety or fear or whatever it is for you? And if you're able to just be quiet for a few minutes sporadically throughout the day, what I did to help myself to understand what was going on in this unconscious programming was I set a little timer to go off every hour. And when that timer went off, I was like, okay, what am I thinking at this very moment? And I noticed by keeping track of my thoughts that they were very habitual. There were definitive patterns of, I was always worrying, thinking the worst, all this self-sabotage and extreme self-criticism and negativity. And once I could see for myself, okay, this is the pattern, this is what this is what's going on inside my own mind, I could then begin to pull at the thread to start to unravel this. And then once you unravel it, this is not to discourage you, but rather to encourage you. This is often where people stop, because whether we like what's happening in our lives or not, it's very familiar. So, as humans, we like to know, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is how that person's going to respond. This is how I'm going to respond. I mean, even think when someone's talking, are you already thinking about what you're going to say? Are you always preparing in advance for how you think that person is going to respond to you, or what you think they're going to say, and then making your response based on that? I know that was something I used to do all the time, and then you're not listening, but you're also not conscious. You're locked in the past, and wherever we are mentally, that's what we're going to keep repeating into the future. So if you keep thinking the worst, if you keep criticizing yourself, you're locking yourself into these habitual tendencies. So where it gets a little bit sticky and tricky is that as you start to unravel all of this, you're left with a bit of a void, right? Because whether we like how things have been or not, they're familiar, and they're a part of what we consider to be our identity. And to lose your identity, this is the true meaning of an ego death, right? Your ego that clings to this, that lets you know that this is who I am, which is not who you are at all, dies. And it's the struggle in that death where most of us go, oh, I've got to go back. I just, never mind, it's too hard. But if you can just make it through that period, once you get to the other side of that and you realize how much choice you have and how much power you have, then it's a whole new ball game. You actually become the creator of your life. And as a Qigong instructor and practitioner, this is what I really wish to impart to the people who come and train with me, is that this isn't just a practice about movement. It's really about aligning to your inner power, to the power sources of the universe. So this beautiful ocean that is all around me, the great yin of the water, the yang of the sky, the earth, our great mother, and your own innate essence, which belongs to you and only you. And that's why you're here, is to express yourself as authentically and genuinely as you can. And it's just not possible to do that if you're continually in these patterns from the past and being triggered and, overthinking. So I suppose what I'm trying to say today is that we've really come to this critical point in time and history where I believe that we're being asked to step out of this old paradigm and allow the light in. And we have earthly light, heavenly light, but you also are an embodiment of light. And when you can peel back the layers, then you allow yourself to radiate with this beautiful illumination. And that really is the only reason you're here. You're that important, and to know who you are at that deep, authentic level, that's everything. And that's what self-awareness is. And that's how you increase your level of consciousness. Consciousness is who you are. Consciousness is in everything that is alive. And when you can connect to the consciousness within you, your true essence, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, your God consciousness, your higher self, that enables you to connect with absolutely everything that is alive. And that is the true meaning of being fearless, because when you can connect at that level with life, you understand that everything just wants to survive and to express itself at its supreme level. All right, my little dog here is getting very restless. So I think I'll end that here for today. But, thank you always for stopping by. And for those of you who practice Qigong with me online, and for those of you who comment, I really can't tell you how much I appreciate the connection, because to me, that's everything. That's a whole purpose why I come here and I make these videos and I do the Qigong. It's because I want to connect with you at that supreme consciousness that's within you, and that it's there. And if I can help you with that in any way, then that is truly an honor and a blessing for me. And, it just goes in a circle. Then that helps me to also connect to that higher and higher within myself. So I thank you all so much. And I welcome you to leave me a comment, leave me a question, leave me some feedback, positive, negative, or otherwise. I'm doing this for you, and the more feedback that I can receive from you, the more I can post information and Qigong practices that will really resonate with your heart. I wish you all a beautiful afternoon, evening, good morning, wherever you are, and I'm sending you so much love from our rainforest and beautiful ocean here in Australia.